Section 1. The hidden ties that bind military and corporate power. The hidden connections between military leaders and corporate moguls are more intertwined than most realize. These powerful figures often share a common goal, the accumulation of power and wealth. This secret alliance shapes global events in ways the average person never sees. Military generals and CEOs use their positions to influence politics, economies, and societies. They operate behind closed doors, making decisions that affect millions. These decisions, motivated by personal gain, often lead to ethical dilemmas and public outcry. This essay will explore the murky relationship between these two groups. By examining their strategies and tactics, we can understand the profound impact of their actions. Prepare to be captivated and educated as we delve into the hidden wars of wealth. Section 2. The Nexus of Wealth and Influence. Money and power often go hand in hand. In both military and corporate worlds, these two elements are crucial. Generals and CEOs use wealth to expand their influence and control. Their tactics may differ, but their goals are strikingly similar. In the corporate world, CEOs use financial power to dominate markets. They invest heavily in lobbying and political donations. This buys them access to lawmakers and regulators, ensuring favorable policies. Similarly, military leaders leverage their influence to secure funding and support for their initiatives. The intersection of money and power creates a complex web. It's not just about personal gain, it's about shaping the world to fit their vision. These leaders are adept at navigating this nexus, using it to their advantage. The consequences of their actions are far-reaching and often hidden from public view. Understanding this nexus is key to understanding their strategies. By following the money, we can uncover the true extent of their influence. It's a tangled web, but one worth unraveling. Section 3. Ethical quagmires and the pursuit of power. The pursuit of power often leads to ethical conflicts. Generals and CEOs face tough decisions that test their morals. In their quest for dominance, they sometimes cross lines that should not be crossed. These actions raise serious ethical questions. Corporate moguls may engage in practices that harm the environment or exploit workers. These actions are driven by the desire to maximize profits. Military leaders, on the other hand, may pursue strategies that lead to unnecessary conflict or civilian casualties. Both groups justify their actions as necessary for the greater good. The ethical dilemmas faced by these leaders are complex. They must balance their personal ambitions with their responsibilities to society. When they fail to do so, the consequences can be dire. Public trust is eroded, and the legitimacy of their institutions is called into question. Discussing these ethical conflicts is crucial. It sheds light on the darker side of power and wealth. By understanding these dilemmas, we can hold these leaders accountable for their actions. Section 4. Parallel tactics, battlefields, and boardrooms. The tactics used by generals and CEOs are surprisingly similar. Both groups rely on strategy, intelligence, and decisive action. They must outmaneuver their rivals to achieve their goals. The battlefield and the boardroom may seem worlds apart, but the principles are the same. In warfare, generals use tactics like surprise attacks and strategic alliances. In business, CEOs employ similar strategies. They might launch hostile takeovers or form partnerships to gain an edge. Both rely on detailed planning and execution to succeed. Intelligence is another critical factor. Military leaders gather information on enemy movements and capabilities. CEOs conduct market research and competitive analysis. This intelligence allows them to make informed decisions and anticipate challenges. Decisive action is the final piece of the puzzle. Both generals and CEOs must act quickly and confidently. Hesitation can lead to failure. By understanding these parallel tactics, we can see how these leaders achieve their objectives. It's a game of strategy and skill played on different fields but with similar rules. Section 5. The cost of power, a moment of reckoning. The pursuit of power can lead to significant backlash. There comes a moment when the costs outweigh the benefits. For generals and CEOs, this moment of reckoning can be devastating. Their actions catch up with them, leading to public outrage and loss of credibility. In the corporate world, scandals often trigger this reckoning. CEOs involved in fraud or unethical practices face legal consequences and public backlash. This moment of reckoning serves as a wake-up call. It forces these leaders to confront the consequences of their actions. The fallout can be severe, affecting not just them, but their organizations and society at large. Trust is broken, and rebuilding it can be a long and difficult process. Understanding these moments of reckoning is important. It highlights the risks of unchecked power and the need for accountability. By examining these critical junctures, we can learn valuable lessons about the limits of power and the importance of ethical leadership. Section 6. The Secret Strategies Unveiling the Hidden Wars. The strategies used by generals and CEOs are often shrouded in secrecy. These hidden wars are fought behind closed doors. Understanding these strategies is key. One common tactic is the use of proxies. In the military, this involves supporting insurgent groups. CEOs use intermediaries to carry out their plans. Proxies provide deniability, distancing leaders from controversial actions. Another strategy is misinformation. Generals use deception to mislead the enemy. CEOs manipulate information to influence markets. Secrecy itself is a strategy. By keeping plans hidden, leaders maintain an element of surprise. This allows them to act with greater freedom. However, it raises ethical concerns about transparency. Unveiling these hidden wars is crucial. It sheds light on the lengths leaders will go to achieve their goals. By exposing these strategies, we understand their power and influence. Unchecked power can have devastating consequences. When generals and CEOs operate without oversight, the results can be catastrophic. Their actions can lead to widespread harm, both in conflict zones and corporate environments. In the military, unchecked power can result in prolonged wars and unnecessary suffering. Civilian casualties and destruction of infrastructure are common outcomes. These actions can destabilize entire regions, leading to long-term consequences. In the corporate world, unchecked power can lead to economic crises and environmental disasters. CEOs who prioritize profits over ethics can cause significant harm. Examples include financial fraud, pollution, and exploitation of workers. These actions can have lasting impacts on communities and economies. The consequences of unchecked power are far-reaching. They highlight the need for oversight and accountability. By understanding these consequences, we can advocate for stronger checks and balances to prevent abuse of power. Real-world examples illustrate the impact of the relationship between military leaders and corporate moguls. These cases provide concrete evidence of their strategies and consequences. Examining these examples helps us understand the true extent of their influence. One notable example is the revolving door between the military and defense contractors. Retired generals often take lucrative positions in the defense industry. This creates a conflict of interest as they use their influence to secure government contracts. In the corporate world, the Enron scandal highlights the dangers of unchecked power. Executives engaged in fraudulent practices to inflate profits. The fallout resulted in massive job losses and financial ruin for many investors. These examples show the real-world impact of the hidden wars of wealth. They demonstrate the need for greater transparency and accountability. By examining these cases, we can learn valuable lessons about the risks of power and the importance of ethical leadership. The public plays a crucial role in holding generals and CEOs accountable. Awareness and engagement are key to preventing abuse of power. By staying informed and demanding transparency, the public can influence the actions of these leaders. One way the public can hold these leaders accountable is through activism. Protests and advocacy campaigns can bring attention to unethical practices. This can pressure leaders to change their actions and policies. Another important tool is investigative journalism. Reporters can uncover hidden actions and bring them to light. This exposes the true nature of these leaders' actions and holds them accountable. Public awareness and engagement are essential for maintaining checks and balances. By staying informed and involved, the public can help prevent the abuse of power. This ensures that leaders act in the best interests of society. Engaging in the dialogue about the hidden wars of wealth is crucial. By discussing these issues, we can raise awareness and advocate for change. It's important to encourage further discussion and engagement from readers. One way to engage is through education. Learning about the relationship between military and corporate power helps us understand its impact. This knowledge empowers us to take action and hold leaders accountable. Another way to engage is through dialogue. Discussing these issues with others helps spread awareness. It also encourages different perspectives and ideas for solutions. Finally, it's important to advocate for transparency and accountability. Supporting policies and practices that promote these values can help prevent abuse of power. By engaging in the dialogue, we can work towards a more ethical and just society. In conclusion, the hidden wars of wealth between generals and CEOs have profound implications. Understanding their strategies and consequences is crucial. By engaging in the dialogue, we can raise awareness and advocate for change. It's a call to action for all of us to be informed and involved.